let's quickly check in on Travels in West Africa by Mary Henrietta Kingsley, where we're getting kind of that really uncomfortable white gaze, white anthropological gaze put on the kind of the dominant peoples of Fernando Po, an island off of the west coast of Africa, and there's a lot of like, oh, they're inferior this way, they're unlearned this way, and then kind of racial descriptions. It's all pretty cringe. It is, it's that, let's make a hierarchy and we're going to put these people on this part of the hierarchy. The implication being, still that the whites are at the top. And I think this is kind of hard baked in there. I don't think actually that Kingsley is trying to denigrate anyone, but I think it's the dominant way of thinking of people, classifying peoples at this time, and classifying races. And there's the whole, not, there's nothing here that makes you think that there's any questioning of racial theories and division of races, and how much of nonsense and human imposed pseudoscience that is on human beings. I mean, you sort of, uh, it's one of these, like, I am not the person to say what would be the right way, because I'm sure I fall into a lot of this stuff still. It's still very infused into our culture. But you can tell that this is, yeah, I can just feel my skin crawl as I read it. I think it's still worth reading because it's like, it's good for my skin to crawl and to kind of go, oh, how much of this do I, slightly modified, do I still use, or is still in the back of my head when I think of peoples in other places. Yeah, yeah. Because I was like, oh, how do we classify people? It's like, oh, yeah. And, you know, what kind of classification system is already just in there that I don't even think about? So yeah, it's useful to think about. So yeah, I am still, and this is chapter 2, Fernando Po and the Boobies, is where I'm at the moment. All right, more videos later.